Intelligent people often procrastinate more, not less, not because they are lazy, because intelligence creates complexity. A smart mind can imagine every obstacle, every possible failure, every dependency, every detail, and every consequence before the work even begins. That sounds useful, but too much complexity held at once becomes paralysis. The fix is 4 words. What is the next action? Mark Twain said the secret of getting ahead is getting started. And the secret of getting started is breaking overwhelming tasks into small, manageable pieces. William James believed action often creates motivation, not the other way around. David Allen turned both ideas into one practical question. What is the next action? Not, what is the entire plan? Not, how do I solve everything? Just, what is the next physical thing I can do? That question cuts through procrastination because it gives the mind one doorway instead of 100. Here is how intelligent procrastination works. You look at a project like prepare the presentation. Instantly, your mind generates everything connected to it. Audience, data, design, narrative, timing questions, possible objections, missing information, technical problems. The brain is trying to be thorough, but when the whole project appears at once, there is no clear entry point. So you delay, not because you lack discipline, because the action is not specific enough to start. The solution is to narrow the question, not what do I need to do for this presentation, but what is the next physical action? Open the slide deck, write the title slide, email Sandra for the numbers, review last year's format, one visible action. That is where momentum begins. Allen identifies 4 effects when people consistently ask, what is the next action? First, clarity. Vague projects become visible steps. Second, accountability. A next action can have an owner, a date, and a context. Third, productivity. Meetings stop producing more meetings. They start producing specific commitments. Fourth, empowerment. This is the surprising one. People feel more capable when they know exactly what action is theirs to take. A vague goal creates pressure. A clear next action creates agency. That is why the question works so well in teams. It turns discussion into movement. And movement builds trust. Inside organizations, this question changes everything. At the end of every meeting, every decision, every conversation, ask, what are the next actions and who owns them? Suddenly, vague agreement becomes real execution. We should improve the client process becomes, Marcus will call the client by Thursday. We need to fix onboarding becomes, Anna will draft the first checklist by Friday. The difference is immediate. People leave meetings knowing what happens next. No confusion, no hidden assumptions, no vague responsibility. The question forces clarity that motivation alone cannot create. Decisions become commitments. Commitments become actions. Actions become outcomes. You might think, I already know this. I already break things down. But look at your current to-do list. How many items are actually projects disguised as actions? Handle client issue. Project. Prepare for exam. Project. Fix website. Project. Start business. Project. A next action is physical, specific, visible, and executable without further planning. Not prepare for exam, but open notes and make 10 flashcards from chapter 1. Not fix website, but open homepage and list 3 broken sections. That difference matters. A project creates pressure. A next action creates motion. Procrastination is almost never solved by self-criticism. It is solved by clarity. When the first step is specific enough to begin without further thinking, resistance drops. Not because the whole project became easy, because your brain's job changed. It no longer has to solve the entire thing. It only has to complete one visible action. That is why the 4 words are so powerful. What is the next action? They shrink the battlefield. They lower the emotional weight. They move the mind from abstraction to contact with reality. And once action begins, Motivation often follows. So here is the assignment. Take the project you have been avoiding the longest. Ask one question. What is the next action? Not the next idea, not the next goal, the next physical action. Something you could start in the next 10 minutes. Write it down, then do it. Open the document, send the message, make the call, find the file, write the first sentence. Your procrastination was not proof that you were broken. It was proof that the next action was unclear.